Oh, well, hey, Ben. It's Jamie. That's me here. Welcome back to my channel, honey. Let's go ahead and get into Our Kind of People, episode 3. Let's talk about it. All right, on this week's episode, honey, it opens up with the Miss Angela. She sleep. We could tell that she was dreaming because she was seeing her mama, and it looks like they were at a Juneteenth celebration, which is what this episode seems to be all about, right? The celebration of Juneteenth. She sees her mama in this dream. You know, they do their little Vaughn family dance, and then her mama go ahead and peace out just a little bit. And she's like, "Mama, where you going?" You know, that's how it be when you be dreaming. You know, and you be having such a good time, and then it's like it just fades away, and it's like, wait, what's happening? What's happening? And then you realize you're waking up. Hate it, honey, hate it. But anyway, so she wanted to ask her mom, like, why did you sell me? Because for some reason she can't seem to get over it. So when she wakes up and she sees her mom's picture, she's talking to it like, I gotta know, I just gotta know. And then she takes it and throws it. I'm like, girl, I may be mad at my mama. I'm not gonna throw my picture and crack it. Like, we're not gonna do that. I ain't that mad. Angela, what's going on with you that you was that mad that you took that and you flung it? Okay, now I'm kind of starting to see a little bit where your daughter get her little issues from. Okay, but let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so Angela, she's talking to the family. You know, they getting ready for June celebration, all of that. She's talking to her aunt and her daughter. And Angela talks about how she really couldn't sleep well that night because she kept thinking about the fact that her mom sold her. So she asked her aunt, like, how did you sleep? You know, I kind of heard some talking or some commotion or something. So I didn't think that you slept very well either. And then the aunt, okay, was flashing back to when Teddy popped up at the house. All right, because that's who voice she heard last night. So Teddy popped up at the house, but the aunt said that she fell asleep with the TV on. I said, see, let me tell you something. You had something to do with your sister death or some girl. What did you do to your sister? Because you is a liar. You is, girl. You just be sitting up here lying. I don't like that. So we got to find out what's going on with Miss Auntie, okay? We still don't know at this time exactly why Teddy ended up stopping at the house. But girl, do we find out later? All right. So upstairs, we can see where Nikki is looking at her, like looking at a video because people keep pinging her on this video of a fight that she got into. I believe it was either last year or just before she moved to the new city or whatever. So she was over there. You know what I'm saying? Whooping up on somebody. Okay. Now, Lauren is out of jail. Her dad goes and scoops her up. You know, they pick her up out of jail because this is the day of Juneteenth. It's a big major celebration. You know, its history goes as far back as Mama Rose. You know, that's Leah's mom, that's Teddy's wife, where I think she kind of like put this whole event together. She started it or whatever. So of course, you know, it's a big family thing. So they want to make sure that, you know, their daughter is out in time so she could be a part of this, right? So what else do we have? Like I said, her family is preparing for the red and black on green is what they call it. The red and black on green party or something like that. But Lauren opens up to her dad, you know, he said, you know, I know this is really hard on you. I know it's really tough, you know, to be going through this with your friends or whatever. And she was like, listen, I know you may think that this is just some little girl fight, you know, it's just a little petty. No, boo. What I need you to know too, just like I want mama to know, is that I love this girl. So yeah, it's a little bit more than what you may be thinking. And he just hugged on her and loved on her and just was like, you know, and I'm gonna still love you anyway. I'm gonna love you anyway. Eh, 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 eh. I'm sorry, that just had me thinking about Chris Brown. But anyway, he gonna love her anyway. So that's that. Now Raymond tells Leah about Angela having an interview, right? Because y'all know at the previous event where Angela got blasted on by her daddy and having to split that Forbes cover, that's when Raymond actually offered Angela an interview for the incubator program. So she has the interview. Of course, Leah didn't know anything about it, but she just became privy of it. She's gonna go and be a part of that, you know, presentation that Leah is going to give. So she's definitely, you know, feeling a way about that, right? What else happens? Their marriage. I was wondering whether or not their marriage was gonna go downhill at this point because she was like, that's not. Leah was telling him like, oh, that's not something I would have did. I wouldn't have had no interview with her. And he said, well, good. I'm glad. If this is something that you want to do, then I'm glad I made a different choice, obviously. Because he's still mad that she was supposed to swipe that company from under her daddy and she couldn't get that company from under her daddy. So he's just like, girl, if this how we move it, then I need to do this my mother self. So he's definitely feeling a way about that, right? So Tyreek, we can see where Tyreek is back at Angela's house and he's installing security cameras. And I'm kind of looking like, did she ask you for that? Because it don't really seem like she asked you for that for real, because she came downstairs asking you, like, how much is this gonna run me? What is this? And he was like, oh no, this is a family discount, or I'm gonna do it for free. It's on me, or whatever it is that he said. And I'm like, bet it is a family discount, because you obviously must have known that she was the daughter to Teddy, and Teddy sent you over there, son. But we're gonna go ahead. All right. So she gets ready to do this presentation. She does a great job. She looks great. She's presenting, knowing her information, honey, doing her thing. Leah tries to son Angela though, talking about her product and the look of it, talking about it's more like a swap meet. So Angela had to check her and let her know, like, girl, there are X amount of swap meets here in America. Also many near the county, okay, and also many in the state, girl. Them are some of my main clients. They have put me on to put me in a position to come and sit down with you. So don't ever try and flex up in front of all my people, girl. Okay, so yeah, I like things the way that they are. So she kind of had to school Miss Leah real quick, and Leah didn't like that. Leah sat back in her seat and said, "Oh no, ma'am. Husband, I just want you to know and understand that I'm not fooling with this young lady. She's not going to get very far with me until she learns how to take criticism or whatever." And I'm like, girl, shut up. You don't like this girl because she's pretty, and now she your sister, and you can tell that she's a badass, and you can tell that it's a little bit of mystery around her, and you want to know more. Okay, and you gonna keep fucking with her until you do, but it seems like she got one up on you, but we're gonna go ahead and move on. So they get outside. This one, Leah tell her, like, girl, my bad, girl, I ain't really mean to, do you like that, but I do everybody like that in the incubator program. Everybody that try to come through, girl, I'm really hard on them. And then she said, so don't take it personal. Angela said, girl, what you mean you don't take it personal? I mean, I can't take it personal, girl. I ain't nobody to you, right? Right? And she said, yeah, you're not nobody at all. Let me tell y'all something. Miss Angela pulled that key out and got the key in that lady car all casually. I said, girl, I don't know how you don't hear that. I don't know how y'all did not hear this woman was over here scratching the hell out this car. This looks like it's a very expensive convertible, ma'am. So you couldn't hear her piecing and slicing on your car as she walked past. She did it very casually. She made no marks and went on about her business. I don't blame this girl marking up this lady car like that, okay? But I could tell that Angela, obviously, she still let what Leah said get in her head, because she really does want to be a part of this program. She wants to expand her brand, right? So she goes to her followers and talks about, like, yo, what should I do? Which one? Like, should I change it? Should I not change it? Y'all been around with me from the beginning, so y'all be a part of this process with me. What are your thoughts? Whole time, Miss Leah watching her live. Yeah, because it's something about her that you like, but you hate it at the same time because you don't have it. And like I said, she's still a mystery, so you trying to figure it out. Now, Raymond goes to have a talk with Teddy. Okay, he really went to go talk to Teddy about his own business, but of course he had to let him know that Eve's crown is very promising, honey. So you might want to consider that opportunity, right? Well, he talks about how he wants his business, and what's his name? Teddy was like, honey, I ain't trying to talk about that. Raymond said, baby, oh, you gonna talk about it with me now? We're gonna talk about it now. Listen, I want my company back. We getting close to, paying off the bailout or whatever. So, honey, once that's done, I want my company. So then here go Teddy telling him, see, this is the difference between me and you. They like to tell you that women like to marry their daddies, but I would never be like you. And hear me very clearly when I say it, sir. And he just being disrespectful. He says, I would have never sold my company to begin with to somebody for them to make the decisions regarding my company and then turn around and ask them for my company back. Me and you are not the same. I would never do no SHI like that. And then he goes on to talk about how maybe that's the Q dog in him, and maybe it's the noob in him to act the way that he is, for Raymond to act the way that he is. And then he says, so since you want to act like that or whatever, he was like, the answer is noob. And I said, not y'all bringing in Greek stuff, not y'all bringing in the Black Greek letter organizations, talk about Q dog and noob. I said, okay, then I guess that's cool. All right. I guess you're just acting, because y'all know Morris Chestnut is really a Sigma. He's a Sigma in real life. But anyway, it was cute, though, how they tried to bring it in. I'm like, girl, y'all making sure y'all keeping this thing black, all the way black in so many different areas with the way y'all say stuff. I just love it. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Okay, let's move on. Leah goes to see her mama. She goes to see her mom, and that's interesting because I thought she never really went to go visit her mom. I always thought she really sends other people over there to see her mama. But she goes to see her mom, sit down, talk to her. And while she's talking to her, she kind of flashes back to when she was a little girl and how her mother was preparing for this Rose event that she's about to do, the Juneteenth celebration. And her mom, first of all, Teddy just drove her mama the fuck crazy. Drove this woman dead crazy. That's what he did. She over there trying to peel off the roses. I'm thinking it's just the rose in her hand. And then we see that her hands is bleeding from pricking the roses or whatever. And she feels as though a rose isn't the color that it's supposed to be or something like that. And next thing you know, we get a pan of the room or a wide shot, and all we see is rose petals all over the floor. So she just been picking and picking and picking and picking. So then we see Teddy come in. When Teddy comes in, he has a doctor or somebody that's like a doctor with him and ends up giving her a shot. And I said, sir, you've been number one driving this lady crazy. Okay. And when she probably was pushing back, probably wanted to leave you and ain't no telling what else, you decided to probably start doping this lady up and had this lady going crazy and looking crazy out here in these streets. So Teddy is responsible for a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And I want to know what it was that Leah's mom had on him. She had to have had something on him. She probably had enough information on him for him to want to get her locked up for whatever reason. But I want to know what information does Leah's mom, not Leah, but Angela, Angela's mom. What info does Angela's mom have on him that he's so concerned about her leaving because she could open up a can of worms on him and everybody else? That's what I want to get to that. That's what I want to get to, okay? So Leah notices while she's there, she's talking to her mom, she's like, how about I just do your hair? She sees that Angela's products are there, right? So she storms over to Angela's house. Now, this time she knocked on the door. I thought that was very interesting because, in the other side, y'all just busted up in there like y'all own it, girl. Might as well. Hell, your daddy done put a damn security camera up in there. And once y'all put her in the incubator program, y'all probably gonna have a key to her spot for real. But let's go ahead and move on. Leah confronts Angela about seeing her mom. Angela confirms that, girl, we blood. Okay, I went over there to ask her questions. The same way you was all on my social media, I was all up in your mama face. Okay, I had to ask some questions about my mama. How about that? And that's when she opened up talking about we blood sisters or whatever. And Leah said, yeah, I know all about your paternity suit, but listen, you're not going to make a debacle out here. You're not going to make a fool out of my family. You're not going to bring none of that attention to the people because I care about this company a lot. So how much do I need to write you to get you the hell out of here? Okay. And then Angela was like, well, girl, you ain't got to write me nothing. You ain't going to write me off nowhere, honey. Okay. Because lucky for you, I don't want your motherfucking coins. Okay. You ain't finna pay me off that quick. You just gonna have to get real comfortable with understanding that you're gonna have to share the throne at some point. Okay, because I'm half of what you are. So let's go on. And she was there. She was on her head top. She was definitely on her head top. It was good. Shortly after that, Miss Angela went to go see her daddy, calling him a coward. Like, you, period. Okay, you're a coward. All right, and you ain't have to send your daughter over there to have a conversation with me because you too ashamed to do it yourself. We're not going to do that. He tries to play her to me because he's sitting up there like talking soft, right? With everybody else, he got this strong aggression that he uses and very stern when he talks. But he hasn't necessarily done that with Angela just yet. He gives her this soft tone. So it makes me wonder, was he truly in love with Leah's mom? But based on how he was and, how he was raised and how he had to present himself to society, in order to have this power, did he, was he kind of forced to marry Mama Rose when he probably didn't really want her? He much have rather had been over there because that's where he was happy at or something. Right. So I'm wondering about that because and I could be absolutely wrong. It's just the fact that how he tries to talk to her more softly than he talks to everybody else. But then at the same time, I feel like this is your manipulation tactic. Okay, this is what you're going to be able to use with her in order to play her against her sister. Right. Try to get her to feel a little sorry or whatever. Oh my God, let me talk to you. You don't know the full story about me and your mom. Well, then tell me what it is then. Tell me what the full story is. How about that? Okay, so there's that. Nikki, we can see where Nikki is hanging out with Taylor. Taylor is now out of the hospital at this time. Now, Nikki can overhear some girls talking about, colorism and different features and stuff. And so she decides to hop into the conversation, which ended up in almost a fight. I believe she snatched up one of the girls or something like that. But I'm not going to lie. I understand her being upset about that conversation 1000%. I get it. But you can't just be hopping in other folks' conversations. I hate it. Okay, if they over there talking and that's what they talking about, girl, let it be. If you're going to hop into the conversation, maybe add some what you did, enlighten them a little bit, but then go on about your business. But I guess that girl did kind of get wrong with her, and I understand if Nikki wanted to snatch, you know what I'm saying? snatch a hole in her ass. I kind of get it, but at the same time, it was a bit awkward. And I'm like, Nikki, where all this anger coming from, girl? You just jumping in conversations and then just jumping on people. What's going on? So later on, we can see where she and Taylor are still hanging out. They're sitting down, they're chit-chatting, they're talking. And she opens up about how she got into a fight regarding the same thing last year. And she hates that her grandmother has passed away because she feels alone. And her grandmother was her best friend, a person she can go to talk about things. And I believe that the person talked about her grandmother after she passed. I think maybe not. Maybe her grandmama was sick, not sure. But anyway, the person was talking about her grandmama, and that resulted in her wanting to lay hands on them. So while she's opening up about her life, who else decides to open up about their life? Taylor does. And she opens up and says that Lauren never pushed her over the yacht. She lied, but also says that she was too drunk to truly remember. But then says Lauren couldn't have pushed me off the yacht. And see, when she says that, that makes me believe there is still a possibility that Lauren pushed her off the yacht and got away with it. IDK, but that's just what I'm thinking, all right? So Nikki tells her, like, girl, you still can go back and tell the truth. You know that, right? You still can go back and tell the truth. And y'all see how Nikki be kind of supporting Lauren in different areas. And it's like, girl, she tried to, feed her the info like, hey, I know about this. Here's the phone. Then she's over here telling Taylor, like, girl, just keep it honest. Get your girl out of jail. And watch how Lauren still tries to down talk her and treat her. And it's like, Lauren, I can't wait till you see yourself in the mirror, because you really treat her like that based on how you were raised and how your mama treats you. But let's move on. All right. So, Leah's at the house eavesdropping on her kids. And then she goes over to have a conversation with her husband to confess to him that Angela is actually her half-sister. So there's that. And then later we can see where Angela, her aunt, pulls up in the middle of the woods, right? She has this map she's circling. Obviously, she's looking for something. Who pops up? I guess somebody she wasn't expecting to pop up, which was Teddy. What we learned is that she was dating a guy named Darius. Teddy lets the cat out the bag saying that she killed Darius. Right. And then he tells her, she said, I just want to know if, he's on this land. She didn't say, when she said is he here? When she said that made me think she was talking about Darius. Darius is probably buried somewhere there on that land, honey. Who is Darius is the question. He says, I'm not telling you nothing. Basically, he said, I asked you to get Leah out of town. And she told him, well, Leah's very hard to get to do anything, when she's stubborn. So that's going to be difficult. He said, well, I'm going to continue to hold this over your head. I got leverage over you until you do what it is that I asked. Then I'll let you know. Not only is Darius probably buried on that land, but that land out there, the daddy, Teddy, done went and bought up all the land around it. Let me tell y'all, I feel like Leah's aunt, I keep saying Leah, Angela's aunt, I don't think that she's the only person that has skeletons out there. I think Teddy got skeletons out there as well, and that's why he bought up all that damn land. Okay? So can't nobody go on that property and touch nothing. I think a lot of stuff probably happened on that land because it's owned by Teddy, and he could do whatever the hell he want to do on it. Okay? Very fishy, very interesting, but I think this is going to be this is the same land that Tyreek may want to use to create that Franklin Stadium or whatever. So, girl, it's a lot of messy stuff. But listen, Auntie, you's a liar. You is a liar, and I want to know your information because, girl, you is a whole liar. Let's go ahead and keep moving. Nikki and Angela talk about their actions over the past year and why she's been acting out and stuff. And the short answer is that she missed her grandma. She don't really have close conversations with her mama like she would her grandma. So now Angela is at a place where she's seeing that, and she's going to have to change that at some point. Angela does head over to the party. Okay, the red and black on green. She heads over there. She talks with her dad because she says, listen, I realize what it is that I want. I couldn't tell you before. I know what I want now. I want to be in this incubator program. He said, well, girl, that's cute. But guess what? I don't make that decision. Okay, I don't get to make that call. Who makes that call is your sister. So you're going to have to talk to her. So there's that, right? Now, Leah's mom done arrived to the event. She down to the event showing her ass. Leah's trying to talk to her. Her mama said, girl, get up off me. I don't know you like that, honey. You are not my daughter. She said, girl, I am your daughter. She said, no, you're not, honey. That girl over there is my daughter. So, Leah's hot. Like, Angela, why my mama think that you her daughter? Okay, because your mama got issues, period. Okay, she got mental issues. Like, girl, I'm not her daughter. Like, she know that. Unless something else happened that they haven't showed us. So next thing you know, we see her mom knock over this whole decoration or whatever. And once she did that, it really upset Leah, and Leah starts to go off talking about how Angela is her dad's bastard daughter and stuff, and just trying to humiliate her, being really upset with her when your daddy was the hoe. Girl, stop. So then they have a private family meeting. Leah going off on her daddy going off on her because she telling her daddy it's his fault. And then he telling her, no, girl, it's your fault because you don't know how to maintain your emotions. So if you want to put this on anybody, you can sit it right on your shoulders. I said, come on. Come on, Joe. Come on, Father Joe Morton. Because let me tell you something. They be giving him the lines, all right? And he knows exactly how to say it. He said, so if you want to put that blame on anybody, you could pick it up and place it on your shoulders. I said, oh, Joe gonna get you together. It don't matter what show he on. He gonna get you together. So I loved how Raymond stepped up and he was just like, oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am, no, sir. You're not gonna talk to my wife like that, okay? You the Teddy Franklin, ain't you? You the main dude. Okay, so you need to make some changes and make some stuff happen. How about that? But of course, Angela came up with a plan. She said, listen, if the blogs are already talking about this, then how about this? You know, if the papers are talking, how about we go ahead and present ourselves with the united front? Like, go ahead, present ourselves like we are a unit, like we're a family, then they ain't gonna have a whole lot of nothing to talk about. And I'm like, girl, they still gonna talk, but I see where you're going with this. So that's what they do. They end up going over to the stage and, you know, they announce things as they need to announce it to clear up stuff and make it seem like she's welcome to the family. But Angela had a trick up her sleeve and I was glad that she did. She got on the mic and talked about how they were gonna put her in an incubator program. I said, yes, you better put it out there in the news so they're gonna have to make it true. Love it, okay? Later on, we can see where Tyreek, he done created a backdoor password for Father Teddy. And I'm like, why would you do that? But of course, he probably feels like he owes them a lot, considering the fact that his father passed and they really looked out for him. But outside of that, I'm like, did you ever consider the fact that they the reason your daddy dead? Was he really working in the line of duty, or was he killed because your daddy knew a lot of information? Think about it. Okay. So he creates, you know, he put that security system into her house. So now Teddy has access and he can see what's going on in this girl's house. And I feel like, what the invasion of privacy? And now that got me thinking, child. Hell, ain't no telling who else got a backdoor password. Girl, I better, girl, that's a little shaky. All right. So I don't like that Tyreek. Okay, you over there helping the enemy. But one thing I can say is I think Tyreek ain't too sure about Teddy. I think that Tyreek does enough to probably get his idea funded by Teddy. But outside of that, I don't think he trusts Teddy. He don't want to have nothing to do with what that man got going on. I just didn't like what he did though. So there's that. Teddy gets a call confirming that he does have Parkinson's disease. So he's really upset about that. And because y'all know his hand was trembling when he was talking to both of his daughters at 2 different times. Lauren and Leah talk. Lauren is irritating for me. I'm not crazy about Lauren's character. She's so irritating. She always acts like she's the victim. She always acts like, Mom, why didn't you tell me? Like, Mom, like, I didn't do anything. You did something. I'm not crying. You're crying. Like, she's irritating to me. But that could just be, you know, because of how she was raised, you know, how her mom is. You raise her to be a certain way, but then you don't follow that your damn self. So I guess that makes sense. What else? We see where Angela has a talk with her daughter Nikki and how she wants to make her the face of Eve's crown. Love it. I think that's a great idea. She also talks with her about her dad because at this point Nikki is feeling alone. She don't got her grandmama. That was her best friend. If she couldn't talk to nobody else, she could always talk to her. So she doesn't have her anymore. And so she also feels like she don't have her dad because her mama is telling her that it's a one-night stand. And she says that hopefully, you know, he'll find her or something. Well, here's the thing. When Angela made the face that she made when her daughter was talking to her, I said, girl, you know exactly who this little girl's daughter daddy is. You know who he is. You just telling her that. So later on, we can see her go to the prison. And she tells him, listen, it's time. It's time for you to meet your daughter or time for your daughter to meet her dad. One way or the other. I guess he probably going to be getting out soon or something. And they probably going to be, you know, not seeing each other like dating, but meaning the little girl and her dad is going to be able to, you know, finally meet each other. Because I hope she ain't going to bring her to that prison. But if she does, she's old enough. But I'm like, girl, you better make sure you had a right conversation with this little girl because she is going to feel a way about you. When y'all start getting y'all relationship back on track, and then you turn around and drop this bomb that this whole time you knew that her daddy was alive, and you ain't never tell her she could have been writing her dad or whatever it was. And now she got to go see him in prison, or she going to be mad as hell with you. So you better hope that she probably see this man after he gets out. Like, I mean, unless he's in there for a long time, I don't know. But I think that their relationship is going to take a few steps back once she opens up to her daughter about this. We'll have to see how everything is going to go. But overall, I'm enjoying the show. I enjoyed the episode. I would love to hear you all's thoughts and comments about it. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.